Hello, beautiful Sagittarius. Hello, my temperance angels. This is going to be your reading for the next 5 to 7 days. Please keep in mind it's a general reading. It's not going to resonate with everyone that watches. If it resonates for you, then it was meant for you. If it doesn't resonate for you, no, it was for one of your other brothers and sisters in Sag. Just let it go. Come back next time and see if I resonate the next time. Please stick around. Please subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I read for you. Sagittarius is best in category as far as I'm concerned. I get a lot of messages for you guys, so I gave you and Libra your own channel because those are like radio stations that are apparently on in my head all the time. May it ever be thus. Sagittarius is my north node. All I'm trying to do is be you people. Help me. But not this week. Let's begin. This week, don't try to help anybody, Sag. I think it's time for you to focus on yourself. You need to be able to focus on yourself for once in your life. Overall general theme right now that I'm picking up on. Sagittarius, did Spirit make it just a little too easy for you? Did Spirit make something a little too easy for you to see, a little too easy for you to walk away from? I feel like it's something that you've wanted to put your foot down about, or a truth to be revealed, or something. You've wanted something to come into balance for a long time. And now that it has, there's backpedaling. It's like, be careful what you wish for. And now that you've gotten it, you're freaking out. And Spirit is trying to say to you, I know it hurt to get here. I did make it as easy as possible. But now that you've gotten something that you wanted, I think it's kind of scary. There's also a difficulty to truly let go of something. The overall theme for you right now is balance and transformation in reverse and memories of love in reverse. So I feel like this is justice. Something has been brought into balance. Justice has been served, or justice does have to be served. And once something has been brought into balance and justice is served, there can be kind of an ouch factor to it. It can be very black and white. I'm a Libra, so I understand that justice energy can have quite a bit of an ouch factor to it sometimes, but it can also be very freeing and this crystal clear vindication. But it's also, I think, about a choice as well when justice is coming into play. You cannot expect anything to be different based on the choices you've made up until now. And it's like something wants to be brought into balance, but there's something that's difficult to let go of, because once you do, the transformation will be profound. You could be dealing with a Libra or a Scorpio. Massive transformation here that, like, there's a fear of someone letting, it's like someone is afraid to let the tower fall and someone is afraid to let something go. There are memories of love, but it's as if you're afraid to let it go, or maybe someone's afraid to let it go with you because there's so many good memories. This was a bridge that wasn't supposed to be burned, or there's a fear of burning the bridge. It's like, I think you want to close the bridge and selectively choose. Just want to hang out under your bridge like a bog witch, deciding who can cross and who cannot. And it's like you'd rather do that than, I think, burn the bridge. You'd like, I think you wish you didn't have to burn the bridge. There's something that you're struggling to let go of. The memories are somewhat bittersweet right now. And it's a difficulty to accept the transformation. It's a huge disruption. We have the Tower. Something is absolutely, like, you're shook with balance and the Tower. It's like something was just, has been or will be, like, boom. Like, it is an instantaneous change. Either you created it, Spirit created it, the planet created it. There's lots of disruption on Earth, and God has nothing to do with it. We're generally satisfied to disrupt ourselves. It's like this disruption brought something into balance here, and it's shocking, but it is so difficult to really fully let it go. I'm hearing we had more good times than bad. You will always have your memories of love. And that's good that you had more good times than bad. That might be why it's hard to let something go. It's a theme right now. But Spirit is saying you have an opportunity to finally create something through the ashes of this. Lots of Scorpio here. That's very difficult for Sag. It's very counterintuitive energy for you. I've always had a saying that I think Sagittarius needs Scorpio and I think Scorpio needs Sagittarius, because you guys like it light and they like it deep, and sometimes you clash because of that, but it's like sometimes you guys are just exactly what the other one needed. And I feel like you're going through a difficult time because there's something that you need to see about a person or something or a situation that you've always known was true, I think, but it's been difficult for you to see. And it's a struggle to face it. You're struggling to deal with those sticky, icky, deep emotions. Sagittarius is like, no, 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 that is not my purpose. My purpose is not to deal with deep, creepy, taboo, sticky, awkward, heavy emotions and the taboo nature of secrets and relationships and all that and hidden agendas and all that. Like, Sag is not comfortable with that. And so when they have to confront some stuff like that, they actually really need scorpionic help to help them work through those heavy emotions that you're like, I'm here for solutions. I don't know how to sit in pain. And Spirit's like, I know you don't want to sit in pain. You don't have to sit in pain. That's why we made it quick and easy for you. And now you have an opportunity to do your favorite thing in the world. Sagittarius is like, Scorpio handles the tower, the death and destruction, and then Aquarius and Sag, those kinds of signs come in and say, let's create through the ashes. That's your favorite thing to do, is to like wipe your tears, wipe everybody else's tears and say, and now we're going to move forward as the dust settles. You've been in the underworld where all things pause and begin again. There's this tectonic breath. You've gone deep, you've gone heavy, you've gone dark. Again, not your favorite place. Like when you're wandering around in the underworld, again, like with Scorpio, they can see without, like they can see in the dark down there. You guys are like, I'm blind. I don't know where I'm going. You always need like a tour guide, like your own personal tour guide. Y'all don't feel comfortable down there. You get lost down there. It's like there's been a pause and you're like, okay, I've spent enough time in the underworld with Hades and all that. I did my dark, icky, whatever. And now it really is time for me to create something new through the ashes. A catalyst or a challenge for you is Hearth and Home. Now, because we got the tower with Hearth and Home, some of you may suddenly decide to change something about where you live or your home. There may be changes happening in your home, where you live, also in family. Happiness in our hearts and homes. This is something that you want to create, or maybe that's a difficulty. It's like now you get a chance to create through the ashes. Also, there's a deeper lesson here of learning emotional intelligence when you are assessing for risk versus reward. But that's deep underneath. And it may have to do with family or or Hearth and Home. Is this the smart thing for me to do? If any of you are thinking about moving, relocating, doing anything with family, hearth, and home, Spirit is really saying it's all about having happiness and stability. There's been a pause. You can create it again. But moving forward in your own family, your own hearth and home, moving forward, it's going to be about emotional intelligence and being able to assess risk versus reward. Now, most of you are going to assess risk versus reward with your sun, with your rose-tinted glasses on, because Sagittarius doesn't believe in bad or no-win scenarios, and luck is always on your side. Don't be cocky this time. Oh my God, you guys are like my cocky jet fighter pilots. Like everything's going to work out for me. And then it does. And I'm saying, how did you not blow yourself up doing that? And Sag is like, I don't know. Y'all just get lucky. But Spirit's like, not this time. Not this time. There's been a pause. There will be a pause. If you've not experienced some kind of liminal pause, it's coming and it'll happen right now. And it's leading to this ability to be the skull of flowers, to create through the ashes of something and to create something new with way more emotional intelligence. Lean into the water in your chart. And if you don't have any water in your chart, that does not mean that you are not capable of emotional intelligence. You are. Because there's no such thing as I can't for Sag. So be emotionally intelligent, and you have to weigh your odds. Don't ignore the risks, and don't be an emotional dummy about this, because things could get better. But here's the thing. I know you of all people do actually want it to get better. So I'm not going to say to you, you don't really want it to get better. It's not that. Again, it's like, be careful what you wish for. There will be, or there has been this opportunity with, like the Tower and justice and transformation. Something is supposed to transform. But again, story as old as time. The minute we get what we want, we're like, whoa, and it's like, oh, was it a little too easy? That's why I'm saying that. Was it a little too easy? Because now you've gotten something that you wanted, and a door is opening for you, and now you're feeling vulnerable. I can feel it. You will, if you're struggling with your vulnerability, go talk to Aries. Pray to that constellation, talk to it, go find an Aries. They will help you feel vulnerable. They will help you feel innocent. They will help you feel naive. They will help you feel comfortable with it. They're very comfortable with the energy of the Fool. So if you're feeling insecure, because you've got the Fool here, but it's like you're afraid to go for it. Some of you may have like an Aries around you. The Aries moon happened on Sunday, and I think that it made us kind of like hold my beer and watch this. Like, I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And maybe you felt very impulsive and kind of like, F it. Like, let's fuck around and find out. Let's just go for it. Like, you felt very edgy, intense. You might have said and done some things that were like, you surprised yourself. But now that the energy of that Aries new moon has trickled into Tuesday, you're like, nope. It's like, what? Surrender your stubbornness and surrender to effortlessness. You believe things are true about yourself that used to be true that are not true anymore. Oh, yeah. There's joy here to be had, but the low self-esteem and the outdated beliefs. Look at this. This is at the bottom of the deck. Here's the joy that you're supposed to be surrendering to. You're a fire sign. This is all you want to do. That's all you want to do from birth. But look, there's outdated beliefs and low self-esteem making a sandwich out of your joy. That's not going to work. There's something that you're supposed to be going for, and you're like, it's like life put the brakes on you for so long, and then the brakes went off, and it's like, you don't know how to get it out of the garage. And I don't know that I think it's because things aren't ending or going on the note that you want. Now, keep in mind, if this isn't your energy, this is just a theme for the next 5 to 7 days. You may just be noticing this about the people around you. But this may be reflective of you. Surrender stubbornness. If you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. Non-violent communication at this time. This is easy for Sagittarius. Of all 3 fire signs, non-violent communication is the easiest for you. You almost make it look, you make it look easy. But right now it's hard. I think you're being hard on yourself. You're being rigid with yourself. Soften. The next 7 days, 7 to 10 days is about softening. Take your time. You need a spiritual stool softener is what you need. I'm sorry, that was crude, but I couldn't help myself. I have Gemini in my chart. It's like you're being stubborn and rigid, and you're looking, and this chick's like, but what if it could be easy? Stop pushing so hard or pushing something away so hard. The art of living means going with the flow and trying not to force a river. Okay? And if it seems hard, it's only because it was hard like 10 years ago. And Spirit's like, dude, just because it used to be hard doesn't mean that it's going to be hard now. You're older. You're wiser. You've been here a little longer. That's old fake news, okay? Why are you being stubborn? It's like someone is refusing to let something be easy. All the excuses and the blocks are now removed, and it actually could be easy. Some of you are just overcomplicating something, and it's a covert defense mechanism of protection. You're protecting yourself. No, 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 I'm absolutely terrified of X, Y, or Z. No, you're not. You used to be. Or maybe it was someone else's fears and anxieties that you've been carrying for them, and now you need to give them back to them. Okay, and once you do, it'll be easy. Some of you are making something more difficult than it is. It's because something is wrapping up. They wanted me to use the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck, and as many of you know, this is a special deck to me, and I don't get a yes with this deck very often to be used, and it wanted to be used today. That made me happy for you. It's a deeply spiritual message for you when the shamans want to speak. And again, we have a completion, and it flew into the reverse with the spiral. There's been a spiraling as something is finishing up. Again, because we had the transformation in reverse with the disruption. It's almost like it came too quickly, or it's coming too quickly. It's almost like it's coming too quickly, and it wants to be completed. It wants to be finished. And it's like you're spiraling about it. It's as if you're not getting, some of you are being too picky about details. No, it has to end just like this, or it has to be just like that. And all you're doing is stalling. I'm hearing you're stalling, you're being a baby. I'm hearing that, I'm not all of you. Some of you are in a very different energy. Let me just stop this reading for a second and tell you another storyline came through, and it did not at all come out in the cards. And I'm like, okay, some of them that are feeling a little bit more spiritual and vulnerable need this. But I did hear very strongly that some of you are in like fucking powerhouse energy, and you're getting like vindication in a way. It may be very career or communally focused. It's not coming out in this message, so you're not having that issue. Some of you are not having that issue. You're feeling more powerful. But others of you have stood in your power, and now you're terrified to hold that power. You just want to get rid of it, I think. And you're like, no, 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 this is too hard. It's because something is completing in a way that's difficult for you to accept. And I'm hearing I'm reeling. You're reeling over it. You may never get the conclusion or the completion that you want. Also, there's karma wrapping up here. This completion, and I felt relationship, and I asked Spirit, how does Sagittarius see the person in their energy? What is making them spiral? When they look, what do they see? And what does that do? And I got a card combination that is sticky, and they're very sticky in the reverse. We have the Sorcerer in reverse, which is Aries, and the Sun in reverse, which is Ego, which is Ego and Leo. They teach us how to have healthy ego, Leo does. And the Sorcerer in Aries teaches us how to experiment with our own power and our own abilities and to be resourceful. However, that person will also sometimes struggle with manipulation and their own ego. So when you look at a person, there was a time when you may have thought they could make anything magical happen. They shone like the sun, and like they looked at life and just saw the answers and saw the solutions. They could pick things up quickly. They were a powerful manifester in their own way, but they very much felt the need to control the elements. An orchestrator, if you will. Aries and the Sorcerer likes to puppet orchestrate in a healthy, positive way. And with a lot of generosity of the spirit and a big ego that actually, and an ego strength that wants to do good and wants to warm others with its light. You're not seeing this person or this situation in this way anymore. There has been a bruising of the ego. I feel like you maybe are seeing a person or a situation for who they really are for the first time ever. I also get the sense that for some of you, you are not being allowed to shine and use your best talents and traits the way you want to. This may bruise your ego and make you feel a little bitter. Also, a feeling I know that you guys are very uncomfortable with. You do not like feeling bitter. You do not like feeling ego bruising because you don't have the ego that the other fire signs do. Not quite, not like that, not like Aries and Leo. So this is difficult for you. Also, Spirit wants you to know that some of you will be challenged in a leadership position yet again, because people don't like putting mutable signs in leadership positions. They want you to be everybody's bitch boy and yes man and yes girl. So some of you need to hear the message that you're not going to get what you want. You will not get into the role of leadership that you want to be in if you don't stop being so helpful. It's like I'm like, are you telling them to stop being them? It's like, tell a mutable sign to stop being helpful and useful. Yes, because you're making yourself look like a really good worker bee rather than a really good leader. So there's a cycle for some of you that does need to be broken so that you can step into a role of leadership. But I feel as though someone is coming off of a pedestal for you. I also think that you do have an egotistical and manipulative person around you. You know it, and you need to stop playing this little game with them. They're really good at sucking you in. It's a dark shadow side of yours that you hide. Don't let them pull you in. It will just ignite it and make it worse. There's some kind of music that you do have to face right now. You do need to get it together in a certain way. This is a really good week to organize, get all your ducks in a row, look at some things that you've been putting off. It's like it's time to face the music. It's time to tame the wind. It's time to feel like you're in control of the direction that things are going. But it is difficult because I think you're afraid to try to manifest because you're afraid it will make you look bad in some way. If some of you are struggling with ego, Spirit's saying, you don't have to annihilate your ego. I know mammals have pretty gnarly egos. You can keep your ego, but let's not be unrealistic about it. Some of you are afraid that you won't shine. Not every moment on planet Earth is a time to shine. And you might need to deal with that, or someone else needs to deal with it. Here's your advice right now. Your root chakra and belief flew into reverse and dynamic. You must believe that you are dynamic. Some of you are feeling really insecure about something, and it's about your feeling of physical safety because the root chakra has come out. The frequency of the root chakra, the red flower of life, stimulates passion and supports our sense of security on the physical plane, both in our bodies as well as in the physical world. So always wanting to feel that passionate, the stimulation of passion, but unwilling to explore it until you feel very safe in the body. Needing to feel safe in the body, but there's a belief that you cannot believe. Okay, there's something that you're struggling to believe. The frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and our talents. A strong connection to source. You have a very strong connection to source right now, but you don't believe in yourself. Probably because you've got an egotistical manipulator around you, or maybe you're afraid you don't have enough support. You're not feeling safe in the body. It's difficult for you to believe in yourself. Self-worth and physical safety is important. Your big challenge here spiritually is a struggle to be dynamic, which is unusual for you. But I mean, if you've got some fixed signs and some of the more stubborn signs, more ritualistic, nostalgic signs, somewhat past focused signs in close planets for you, it may be a struggle to step into a sun in Sagittarius right now, which wants to be very dynamic. But there's a need to feel supported in your ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and different frequency. You're struggling with the idea of newness. You want to experience newness, but you do not want to experience anything new unless you can bring like a trunk full of all of your past memories with you. No new friends, no new experiences, huh, Sag? Not unless we can pull the past in to help you feel safe, the good things that make you feel familiar. There's an opportunity to be more dynamic and play with the elements and play with resources in different kind of relationships and scenarios and situations, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. It's difficult maybe for you to feel, I think you're too self-conscious right now is what I'm hearing. You're too self-conscious at the moment, and you're getting in your own way as a result. Or someone needs to get out of their own way. Someone's afraid of, they're too self-conscious. Some of you need to hear quit being a baby. Not all of you, but some of you. Some of you needed to hear stop being a baby. I heard brat, stop being a brat. Or someone might be being a brat. You may have a few bratty moments, inner child, like fussy moments. And then I'm hearing that some of you are going to need to do a lot of self-parenting this week. I'm hearing the inner child coming out for someone being kind of whiny, regressing, and then needing to come in and parent that inner child for yourself. Some of you have been parenting yourself in that way for a while. So I'm hearing that a little bit more of that may need to be done. But at the same time, I'm hearing only to a point. I'm hearing stop coddling yourself and stop coddling others. There's a game that you finally no longer have to play, and it's almost as if you're fussy that you stopped playing it before you won. Let it go. Oh, somebody needed to hear that. I can feel it. Actually, it's someone around you that needed to hear it. They just wanted me to use one deck, and it's this deck that I haven't used in a while, and I cannot remember the name of it, but I have two versions of it. They wanted me to use this one. It's brown and white. It's actually very difficult to work with because the cards are sticky. I love the deck, but I hate working with it, and they were like, this is the one, make it happen. And I'm like, okay. It's like something is supposed to be easy, but it's not. Some of you maybe just have a person around you that is like digging in their heels at every turn. Either that or it's you. It's one or the other. I'm hearing someone's like, they got what they want and now they're like, no. And you have a chance to move away. The first cards that came out for you were the Eight of Pentacles and the Hermit. And then the catalyst or the challenge is the Six of Cups. So this could be your energy, could be someone else's energy. If this doesn't sound like you, maybe the way someone around you feels. So take it as it resonates. Some of you have had a Virgo in your life, or you have Virgo in your chart. You go off by yourself. You're in the Hermit energy, self-reflection and working. You have a lot of wisdom to share. Someone's been around the block, old school moves. I'm hearing you're super into research right now. You're going to be really, really good at organization. You're going to get into a good groove with something. I also think that some of you have been very nostalgic, like maybe you've gone off, someone will go off and spend time alone all by themselves. I'm hearing, I want to be completely alone with these memories. So like maybe it's a photo album or something, you go off, you don't want anyone around while you look at it or work on it. You want to be alone with your memories, alone with your work. There is nostalgia here. There could be a Virgo around you missing you as well. You're missing them. This person may be researching you, looking you up, or you're just like, I noticed that Sagittarius do like this Eight of Pentacles Hermit energy. Like you like it when everyone's just out of your way so that you can zip around like a mutable fire sign. You and Gemini, you're lunatics about it. And you just need everybody out of your way. So I do feel like you're going to have a lot of that energy right now. You'll work best when you're alone. But I do think that while you're working on things by yourself, you will get into a place of self-reflection, and there will be nostalgia and memories for you or for someone else. It's in the details. It's in the little things right now. I'm also hearing that some of you really need to put your feet in cold water, like up to your ankles. It has to be living water, moving water, not like a bowl. Like go stand in a little creek or something, ice cold on the feet. Some of you really need to do that. I don't know why. I'm seeing it. Just up to your ankles and ice cold running, flowing water in a creek. It would be very good for you. It'd be good for someone. So there's this nostalgia here, pulling back. Might be thinking about something from childhood or children. And then the Tower came out with the Knight of Pentacles. Something could happen with an Earth sign or a Scorpio. We got the Tower again. The Tower and the Scorpionic energy of kaboom is all over the place. This is the feelings. Something has really changed here with the Tower. And it may have to do with the familiar, the routine. The Knight of Pentacles is sometimes kind of like a dog chained to the yard that won't leave. It struggles to go on the quest that all the other knights seem to want to go on. Someone's struggling to move on from something that happened. There's a lingering around the chaos even, because it's bringing illumination. And there's just this need to stick to it, even though it may be somewhat chaotic. Something about, yeah, I'm getting more hearth and home messages, struggling to move on from what's familiar, what's close by. Some of you may go somewhere this week that like you've been going your whole life. I'm seeing like a restaurant, like, man, I remember the first time I went there in like the 5th grade. There may be nostalgia. You may struggle to move on from that because it's so familiar. Yeah. Staying in that spiritual zip code that feels good, not moving forward. Someone may not be sure what to do next here, but you're being seen as like, I have the 2 came out, the Fool and the 3 of Cups. But then clarifying it was the 8 of Swords and Judgment. Okay, for some of you, this is a person around you that has just gotten really comfy in whatever it is they're doing. And you're like, I'm literally making it as easy for you as possible. The Fool and the 3 of Cups. This is fun. Just give it a try with the Fool. Look at the stork, the pelican, looking at them like, what are the 3 of you doing? Like fun, a get together. But someone is like, okay, the door has been opened and we don't want to see it. So someone might be like, no. Maybe you gave someone an opportunity and made it easy for them to get into something with you, and they're suddenly making all these excuses. This person may feel very comfortable in their own pain, or maybe it's not necessarily pain, but it's like in their own emotions or whatever. And then seeing an opportunity here with you immediately freaks them the hell out. And they want to hide. Yeah, they want to hide. It's dark and they're alone. They don't want to see the open door here. And this could be you as well. There was this pause, breakthrough, and now there's this newness here to be had with friends and fun and adventure and a lightheartedness. And it's like, oh, holy shit. I don't know if I can do that. I didn't think the door would open like that. And here's the thing about judgment. It's a big deal. Someone may be afraid to lose you or afraid to come towards you, or there's something that you're afraid to go towards because it just felt so familiar here for so long. I'm hearing something interesting. Some of you have moved back to a place, or you will be somewhere that you haven't been in a long time. And there are going to be a lot of unconscious triggers like memories. And it might really mess with you a bit. And you're like, oh God, I don't know if I can do this. I thought all those memories are gone or all of that. Again, I'm hearing the inner child needs to be dealt with a bit. A little bit of coddling and a little bit of firmness. And you need to go back and forth. Because like there's this opportunity to step into something and someone's like, I've been saying I want to get away from my demons this whole time, but now I'm suddenly feeling like the warmth is too warm and I want to stay cuddled up in the cold and cuddled up in the demons. And Scorpio's like, the sun is coming up for you. You can linger at the gravesite for a while, but one way or another, you do need to walk through this door. Because Scorpio and Aries are literally holding hands and doing ring around the rosy in your life. Like, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. Do you want me to hold your beer? And while you jump, I'll cheer you on. Just jump. Just go for it. It could even be like a whole new adventure. And someone's like, yikes. Trapped in the head. The answers are not in there. Okay, they're not. For someone, here's what you need to know or your advice. We've got the Four of Cups. And when this came out, I was like, oh no. Because if this is your energy, it is this, again, also uncomfortable for Sag, not being really sure how to feel. Someone's not really sure how to feel here. About what? The Ten of Cups and the Four of Wands. Here it is, hearth and home. Family, children, memories, the home, the park you would always go to. This deck is so neat, you guys. If you lay the whole suit out, like a whole suit, it will like tell a story. Because these are the cups, but this is the wands, but it's different. It's like something about a family home, hearth and home, wanting to feel a sense of belonging. Someone wants to feel a sense of belonging. But I feel like something is never really good enough for someone. It's almost as if you are moving on from someone and something that you really needed to, and someone just doesn't want to let you. Something just doesn't want to let you. It just wants you to like roam around the halls and talk to the ghosts. Someone is also maybe really thinking about family stability, emotional stability, and the physical home and the safety. I'm also hearing something about commemorating something. There's arguments about how it's being commemorated. Stay out of it is what I'm hearing. And then the final outcome is the moon. There is hidden potential here, but there's still so much that remains to be seen with the Piscean moon. Clarifying this is the Nine of Swords and the Six of Swords. Who's afraid to move on? You got to be like this little guy. Look at how he is facing the bad guy. He's standing up to the bad guy. He's in a dream. He's dressed up like a little superhero. So you know that he's in the middle of like a nightmare or something. And he's like standing up to the big, mean, bad goose. Like that's like the black swan. And he's like, oh yeah. It's like Alice in Wonderland standing up to the Jabberwocky. Like the odds were against her, but she won. And it's like, you need to believe that you can slay the Jabberwocky. Someone needs to believe that they can move on. There's just, and also there's like a silence with the Six of Swords and the moon. It's almost too quiet to the point where there's anxiety. Someone is terrified of the unknown. You came to the wrong planet if that is your greatest fear. I'm so sorry to tell you that after the fact. If you can't handle the mystery of life and you cannot handle the unknown, but Earth is not the right place for you to experience yourself. You need to try again somewhere else. Somebody does, like there's this fear of where the wind will take someone next. What is going to happen next? I think that someone may be afraid again of something and you're afraid of something. A lot came out of my oracle deck about someone and about you. as well. Let's go over their tarot first. This person sees themselves as the Six of Wands. They're up on their high horse right now. Like your boat is empty, and this person's like, well, I'm moving on. She doesn't look stuck up here, but typically the Six of Wands is somewhat up on a high horse. They can feel, I hear, vindicated. I am hearing that this person is sort of, once they want to be up above everyone else, and they want to ignore things that they feel are beneath them. They may be difficult to read right now, but they are at a pivot point. The way they feel is the Ace of Swords. I felt like a very stubborn feeling off the Ace of Swords. Usually the Ace of Swords sets us free. As an air sign, I feel like the Ace of Swords, that sort of truth and discernment, will ring true in our head and set us free. But it's almost like this is Excalibur. It won't be pulled out. It's like the truth is stuck in something. And then their action towards you is the Four of Swords. Okay, so this person, you need to know for like the next 7 to 10 days, someone around you is kind of taking a knee. They're taking a knee. They're just sort of resting at the moment, but they're very certain of something. And I wanted to know what. And I have Justice. So you could be like dealing with someone with Libra in their chart. Justice and the Ten of Swords with the Five of Cups. They know something caused pain and they're sad about it, but they need to rest. But also there's a bit of like, I see you seeing me, but I'm not going to address you or pay attention. And I do have the Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So this person is sort of playing hide and seek, duck and weave. They're feeling insecure. There's definitely a bit of a game that's being played between yourself and another person, or the self and others. But I was like, Justice, the Ten of Swords, and the Five of Cups. Okay, with the Ace of Swords. I wanted to know what this was about, and I used my Oracle deck. I could not get cards to come out of the deck for quite some time. I had to shuffle and shuffle and shuffle. And finally, this person's energy just exploded, and like 6 cards came out. We have several 6s here, and we have several 4s here. So 4s are about stability, and 6s are about moving on from something. And because we've got something about a need for physical safety before we can add something new, it's like a greater theme here for you that's in the details is someone doesn't want to let go of stability, but if they move on from something and they experience that in between, it makes them feel a lack of stability. Someone's afraid to add something new in. And this might be what's holding you back. All these cards came out. It's like you're at a pivot point of some kind here with the 6s coming out. Scapegoat, kicking and screaming, unique qualities, family and childhood wounds, fawning, and my pride and ego is bruised. So what I'm hearing is you're dealing with a person who likes to compete with misery. They're a misery competitor. No. I'm the one that's the most hurt. I was the one that was scapegoated the worst. My pain, my trauma is worse. Mine is unique and different. This person may have had a very subtle, strange, difficult to even put into words kind of complex trauma. Because we have family wounds with unique qualities and then the kicking and screaming. I'm like, okay, this person came from maybe somewhat of a dysfunctional family system, but the scapegoat and the kicking and screaming with the fawning and my pride and ego is bruised, it made me kind of roll my eyes like, no. You couldn't possibly be more hurt than me. I'm the one that's the most hurt by this. I was the one that's the most hurt. I was the one that scapegoated the most. I'm the one like... They're competing. It's like you couldn't possibly be more hurt than me. No one on the planet is more hurt than me. They fawn over their own childhood wounds. They may use their past pain as an excuse for their behavior now. If they're doing that, it's because they struggle to take action. And that's, I don't want to say excuse because I'm hearing the pain was valid. Like they legitimately were scapegoated. It's almost like this person stands up at the adult children of meetings and says, none of you have ever been through anything more terrible than me. Like, my trauma story outshines everybody else's, and I'm the one that deserves justice. I'm the one that deserves to have the shoulder to cry on. It's like very big for them right now. Maybe they're just having a moment. But it's because they're trying to wiggle out of something. Like, I can't. They say a lot of, you just wouldn't get it. No one understands me. There's like this competitiveness here. And it may have to do with family and children. I'm hearing for some of you with a family, there's a lot of like bitterness and bickery and ankle bitey, and I think you're trying to let it go, but like you're afraid to. And here's why. What came out for you is sudden realizations. This will backfire. Don't do it. What's the rush? I'm generous and loyal. I'm feeling bored and stuck. And I'm afraid of missing out. FOMO. There's adoration and idealization. It's like you're afraid to stop being so generous and loyal. You've been given the opportunity to let go of being so loyal all the time, but the minute you don't have to be, it's like you're afraid you're missing out. You've realized that something that you've done, you've had this realization and you think something will backfire. And so now you're putting the brakes on it. You've been generous and loyal. I'm loyal and I'm stuck and I'm feeling bored. This is very complicated. It's almost like your scapegoat role was being taken away from you and you're afraid of what will happen if you're not generous and loyal. It's like you get antsy when you can't be giving and doing something, but you were taken advantage of and you didn't like it. So it stopped and now you don't know what to do. You're afraid of something here. Like, if you're feeling bored and stuck, and FOMO says, I feel like I can't be happy. My daughter made this deck and she put that on, like, fear of missing out. And then she added, I feel like I can't be happy. It's like, not quite like nothing's ever good enough, but it's like, I'm hearing some of you finally got what you wanted in a situation, but now you're stalling to get out of a role that you've needed to stop playing for a long time. I think it's because you're afraid of what will happen if you stop playing the role. I'm also hearing that some of you, your parents will shock you and tell you that they're moving and you never thought they would move. Like, they're saying, yeah, we're selling the house and we're going to move into like this little tiny condo in Florida or Texas or something. Like, they're going to do something that shocks you to death. You might have been waiting for them. I'm also hearing maybe they're going to move into an assisted living community or a retirement home, and you've been thrilled about that your whole life, but now you're afraid of it happening. It's like a be careful what you wish for kind of thing. It's like you were tired of being generous and loyal, but you don't know how to do anything other than be generous and loyal. And I think you're afraid to go off by yourself and just be happy. I feel like you feel pressure to be pulled back into something, but you're going to be dealing with people or a situation that, like, it's like all of your emotions are pushed out. They grandstand about their pain. And you're like, that's fine. I got to go off by myself and work all this out anyways. I do think you're feeling a bit like the intentional outcast or the loner at this time. I also have the Seven of Pentacles. Some of you are thinking about a Pisces or a mysterious person. You may think you're getting downloads at this time. I do think you're very connected to the divine. I do see you going off and searching your soul. In your feelings, you are wishing something would be different. I also think you feel the need to constantly check and recheck things. Some of you may check and recheck your locks, double check messages with people. You want to see if something is finished cooking, but it's not. You have to plant the seeds and then let them grow. And your action is death. One way or another, you are transforming. You're going to transform because you're being seen as the Fool and the Three of Cups and death. And it's like maybe someone or something else is pulling you back. And someone may be intentionally making you feel like your life isn't good enough. You may have a show off around you as well. So like no matter what, it feels like your life is lackluster, but you're like, I'm done with that. Death, something about a rose or a flower is very important. And I'm like, what are they thinking about? What are they checking on as something? It's like you're lingering in an ending and in a transformation. For my masculines, there is a mysterious woman that is not good for you, that has gotten in your head. Let that go. Her darkness isn't hot. She's trouble. Stay away from her. Yeah. But like something is transforming here, and I wanted to know what there was a lingering about. And a lot of cards came out. The Five of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Devil. It's like you just can't quit. And I am going to give some of you a hard time. If you want something to change, then you actually have to let it go. But you can't fucking help yourself. You keep coming back. Either that or there's just a Capricorn here. But like the Five of Swords and the Four of Pentacles, like, no, I'm not being generous and loyal anymore. And I was like, interesting. We've got a generous and loyal card. It's almost like I don't want to have to pay for this anymore, but I still want to be allowed to have an opinion. I just don't want to be sucked dry. Like you want to be able to have an opinion without being taken advantage of. Like you want to be able to show up without being sucked dry. So there is anger and you will fight for what you want, but you will not give up what is important to you. And yet here you are again, the Page of Cups and the Devil. This may have to do with a child. It may have to do with a kid because the Page of Cups is here. But this is one of those I can't help myself but come back and again, not all of you are doing this, but some of you may be being chaotic right now. You may be sending mixed signals. I'm mad at you. I'm not giving up anything. But wait, are you okay? That's the FOMO and the fear of missing out. Some of you may feel like you quite literally have to buy someone because the Devil is Capricorn and they care very much about community, legacy, family, resources, stuff like that. Like, I also think that now is a really, really good time to work with your own shadow because your shadow is being puppeted by your wounded inner child a little bit right now. Like the shadow and the inner child want to integrate, which is, I think they are integrating so that it can, like something can like be finally put to rest for you. But it's almost like some of you may have a young person around you, though, that like always pulls on your heartstrings because with this Page of Cups. But you've got to resist. But some of you can't stop going back to something because you're afraid of missing out. And it's because it's like that's where it feels safe. But I still feel like as difficult as it is for you not to keep coming back and being the first person to apologize and make something right, I do think you will address anything that hasn't wanted to be addressed and has been ignored. And you are, it's like, I feel like you're going to be less likely to be taken advantage of and you're more likely to stand up and fight for yourself. But there's this one like people pleasy thing you've got to let go of, which is apologizing first. You're always so good about that because you don't like grudges. So you're like, oh, fine, I'll just get over. I'll say I'm sorry first. But that's how they suck you in every time. So it's like there's been this pause and you can move forward, but someone's got to face that music and all that. But you're dealing with a person who's just got to shout their problems from the rooftops for a while because they can't get enough attention for it. It's like, I am feeling like there's maybe mourning happening and loss happening, and Spirit is saying you can linger in that for yourself and with others, or you can let it go and move on. Watch out for anyone trying to make you feel guilty because you won't move on after the Tower. And if you're leaving anyone in their own misery, or if I'm also hearing some of you are doing parts work. I do internal family systems. I use that modality a lot. I find it very spiritual and highly creative. I've had the therapeutic modality used on me, other people. I've used it with a lot of my clients. It's like some of you have a wounded inner child that won't stop freaking the fuck out about something that happened. And you're just like, I'm just going to leave you there to cry if you're not going to get over it and have fun with me and move forward. And it's like, no, but I'm sad. I'm sad. I'm sad. And I feel like you're saying to that part of you, you can sit there and be sad. If you want to have a tantrum, you're allowed to have a tantrum, but I'm going to leave you there tantruming and crying over the endings and whatever. And the past you won't let go of, but I'm moving forward. And as you do that, it makes you feel like you're leaving someone else behind, but you're not. You're leaving your own misery behind and moving forward. It's just difficult to do. Again, Spirit's saying, let it go. Don't be stubborn. Don't challenge their egos. Just focus on believing in yourself, feeling passionate about life, and knowing that you need to feel physically safe in the body before you can even attempt to feel excited and believe in yourself. Be open to trying new things, but bring a bit of the past in with you to help you feel comfortable and familiar. But it really is time to be the fool. And don't let someone keep sucking you back into their Tower moment over and over and over again. It's like you finally have a chance to get away, but it's a struggle too. Are you afraid you're going to abandon someone? Yeah. Or abandon something within yourself, or someone is afraid to abandon something and move forward with you. If someone is afraid to let something go and move forward with you, that's going to be a challenge for you in this relationship, because all you people want to do is go. You're ruled by Jupiter and you're mutable. You just want to, there's no holding still. Sagittarians don't hold still. You guys are going like 50 miles an hour, even when you're sitting in the garage, although you're not exhausting to be around. You're not at all. This is a person that's lingering in some shit. And you're going to say, do you have to let it linger? And they're going to say, why, yes, I do. And that's not going to make any sense to you. Let them have their minute. And if there is something that you can't let go of that doesn't make sense to you, there's always something weird about ourselves that we just don't understand. And it's usually your Uranus imprints in your human design. Look up your Uranus stuff. That's your weirdness. There's like something that you are being weird about and you won't let go of. What if it was easy? What if it could be easy? It's only not, the only reason it's not effortless is because someone's being stubborn. Let it go. Let it go. It's not true about you anymore. Let the Tower fall. Let it transform. Everything that has an ending has a new beginning, Sagittarius. Follow the light, follow the Fool. Death will take you to the Fool. Don't be afraid. Don't go back. Just live with the mystery and let them live with it as well. They're pulling back and they're telling me to stop. I want to do an extended. They're telling me they will not allow it. All right. We're getting a no for that. So no extended. The link to my website to check out my private readings and some of my other services is down in the description below. Thank you for being here with me today, Sagittarius. I hope this resonates and I hope it helps. I'm always listening to the universe for you, Sag, and I love you guys. I'll see you next time.